You. Last weekend, you spent a lovely day at the beach. Hashtag fun day Sunday. And you. At 4:35 p.m. yesterday, you just got home from soccer practice. Hashtag the real football. But you, I don't think I have to go too far into it, so 2 words. Channing Tatum, hashtag Man Crush Mondays. Now, I wish I was talking about a hypothetical situation, and technically it is because it's not actually you, but these are all real posts from my Instagram. I really am the luckiest girl in the world because I get to know what you ate for dinner last night, why you hated that new movie that just came out, and what you actually look like without makeup. Through Facebook feeds, Instagram interruptions, Twitter testimonies, and Snapchat stories, we know everything there is to know about each other. While all of these details help me get a sense of your day-to-day and sometimes minute-to-minute activities, there are some things that I just don't need to know. But the distinction between what should be kept to ourselves and what should be shared with the world is fraying. I, for one, am tired of it. Yes, I'm partly to blame, partly because no one forced me to make social media accounts, but mostly because I, too, am an oversharer. Well, hashtag let's be real. We don't value privacy very much. Before you hit the share, post, or tweet buttons, though, there are a few things for us to consider. First, we'll discover how a more public appeal has quite literally shaped people. Second, we'll examine some of the ramifications of devaluing privacy. And finally, we'll attempt to inspire a new wave of media empathy. So I was scrolling through the profile of my best friend, Miley Cyrus, and I just love her crazy hairstyles. She is so unconventional. Celebrities love their social media. Twitter, the 140-character snippet of our interactions and regular musings, keeps track of its most popular posters. Top 3. Number 1, Katy Perry, also my bestie, has nearly 67 million followers. She's followed by number 2, pop star and former hairstyle icon, now tattooed urinating delinquent, Justin Bieber, with a paltry 61 million. And finally, 3rd, Barack Obama, the president. While celebrities are used to having their lives broadcast to the public, social media presents a new and sometimes dangerous opportunity for many people in search of validation. When people need affirmation that they're succeeding in life or are doing well, they often display a seemingly perfect life through the internet, sharing only a part of the story, a part of the truth or reality which might not accurately portray the whole picture. The hottest trend hitting the scene in Asia to improve profile pictures is not with strokes of a scalpel. It's not with strokes of a keyboard, however. It's with strokes of a scalpel. In India, social media users have turned to plastic surgery solely to enhance their online profiles. A video posted by media startup Vocative reveals that users are spending thousands of dollars to fund the growing trend known as Facebook facelifts, to improve the look of their profile pictures and therefore receive more marriage proposals and acceptances. Women and men in their 20s and 30s go under the knife. One of the most popular fixes is a chin augmentation for men, or lip enhancement for women, because that's what people see most on video chat. Interestingly, though, when asked why they don't just opt for Photoshop, they responded with, "That would be fake." Did you know that prior to its invention, creator Jack Dorsey considered naming Twitter Friend Stalker? Hashtag funny because it's true. Well, it's not too far off of why we need to understand some of the ramifications of devaluing privacy. The disillusion that is perpetuated through the marvelously surreal or surgically real lives of our online counterparts is just one part of a greater cycle of desensitivity. For example, when we upload pictures of our fancy dinners at the Cheesecake Factory, we also feel like we need to consume personal and private experiences from others without consequence. This is why your own YouTube experience has probably put you in touch with the hilarious antics of David coming home from the dentist, Charlie biting his brother's finger, or any number of people kicking a ball that bounces back in their face. Wonderful testaments, yes, of just how far our civilization has come, but they have counterparts online which are much more toxic. In an age where everyone can make their pictures and videos accessible to everyone else with the internet, we pull no punches from privacy for rude behavior in stores or bad parking jobs. And while I don't condone adult tantrums or people who just can't get in between painted lines on the ground, digitally immortalizing or publicly humiliating people for their missteps and petty discretions is not fair either. In a speech she gave just last month, Monica Lewinsky shared her own experience in the crosshairs of public shame. Her affair with the president in 1998 was the first ever major news story to break online. Yes, she was an adult capable of making her own decisions, and yes, her actions are reprehensible. But even in her extreme case, we see that it's still not right to treat people the way she had been treated. Lewinsky had become the patient zero of losing one's reputation online. She was humiliated by the comments on news stories and cruel email jokes that circulated the internet. Virtual stone throwers called her a tramp, a bimbo, a whore. More troubling, though, Lewinsky spoke about how her parents also had to deal with the fallout of their tarnished daughter. They sat with her every night to watch and console her and made her shower with the bathroom door open because they feared that their daughter would be humiliated to death. Literally. This being the first of its kind in the 90s, Lewinsky was the recipient of what we now call cyberbullying. When we joke or tease or judge people based on what we see online, it becomes too easy to forget that they're people with families and feelings. Again, I don't approve of her actions, and Lewinsky herself regrets every day the choices she made when she was 22. But to target an individual and to give someone feelings of incalculable humiliation or endless self-loathing is not right. A lot of the problem deals with what we choose to put and say online, but it doesn't take too much to change. The theory of minority influence proposed by social psychologist Sergei Moscovici says that even in small numbers, when there's consistency over time, change can happen. First, we have to realize that as a culture, we place a high value on the freedom of expression, but we often neglect the responsibility that comes with this right. We all want to be heard, but as Lewinsky succinctly notes, let's acknowledge the difference between speaking up with intention and speaking up for attention. Our society values shame and humiliation like currency, quite literally. Gossip columns and news outlets traffic this currency online, where clicks lead to advertising, which leads to profit at someone's expense. And we provide further validation for devaluing privacy every time we continue to click. But Professor Brené Brown at the University of Houston has a solution. Compassion. Imagine living a day on the receiving end of some of those comments, or as someone else's profile. Think about how your words, pictures, and videos affect others and display this sense of empathy through more compassionate communication. Brown says that if we can share our story with someone who responds with empathy and understanding, shame can't exist. By valuing privacy through more compassionate communication, we ultimately create a community, online and off, in which we don't need to feel so insecure about ourselves. So, no, don't delete your online accounts and don't hide yourself away to stave prying eyes. Technology has been capable of doing wonderful things, like reconnecting lost siblings or starting revolutions. But when we sacrifice who we really are or feel that people deserve to be vilified for their mistakes, we lose our own dignity. After all, was it really worth the 10 minutes looking for the perfect angle for a selfie and then another 20 minutes trying to edit it to look like there's hashtag no edits? We all have the same filters. We know what you did. Hashtag let's be real. It's so much easier that way.